This is the Brezi Cold. It's a machine that sits on my counter that makes cold brew coffee. Actual cold brew coffee, not hot coffee poured over ice, not cold brew that you put in a mason jar in your fridge and wait for 24 hours. This machine makes the cold brew on your counter. It comes out cool, ready for the glass, no ice cubes needed. And the people who have said this is good, world-class baristas. Thanks so much to Brezi for sending this out for review and for sponsoring today's video. You know me, I love coffee. Links in the description if you want to check it out. Let's get started. So big picture. Why should you care? Well, for starters, this is the world's first fully automated cold coffee brewing machine. It brews at around 5 degrees Celsius, completely cold, without a single ice cube. Here's why that matters, and you probably already know. If you love cold coffee, if you love cold brew specifically, you can't really make that with a hot coffee, an espresso machine, a coffee pot, a Keurig, Nespresso machine. You end up pouring hot coffee over ice cubes, which just waters down the flavor. Or you make it hot, you put it in the fridge, you have to wait a while to drink that. Or if you make true cold brew, that takes hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Brezi sort of marks all of those things out of the equation. It makes cold brew quickly. It still takes some time, we'll get to that in a second, but nothing ever gets diluted here, and it's actually a pretty quick process. Relatively. I've been using it daily for a while now, and I'm really excited to talk about it. I've tested all the brew modes except for tea. I'm really excited to try out the tea one. There's a lot I love here, and there's a favorite mode that I didn't expect to be my favorite, but it is indeed my favorite. We'll get to that in a little bit. As always, to get started, let's talk about the form. First of all, the design is beautiful. There's a lot to love here. First and foremost, I think, is the small footprint. This thing is pretty small. It doesn't take up a lot of countertop space, which says a lot for these machines. A lot of times coffee machines are bigger and bigger and bigger because they do more and more and more. This is actually pretty small. You can sort of squeeze this in between two machines or put it in a corner or somewhere even out in the open because I think it's beautifully designed, but it just still doesn't take up a ton of countertop space, which is huge real estate in the kitchen. It's also impressively quiet. Sometimes I've been concerned like, oh, did it turn off while it's brewing? Because it is so quiet. Like it really doesn't make any sound. Like this could go on your nightstand or on your desk here at work, and you can work and like barely hear that it's making you delicious cold brew coffee. And everything in terms of the design language is beautiful here. There's a lot of metal. There's plastics that are really well met with that metal. It just feels like a premium device. Another big thing, magnets. I love magnets, I've said it before. The filter area is magnetic, the little drip tray is magnetic. There's even a little tiny nameplate on the side that's magnetic that you can actually customize through Brezi to say whatever you want. Maybe you have your own company and you want to have your company logo on there. Maybe you just want to put your name on it. Maybe it's a gift for someone. You want to put their name on it or their last name, like the Pughs or something. And they're magnetic, so you can interchange these. Just those little bit of customizable touches, I think, just make products that much nicer, and they've definitely done that here. Now, there's a lot of tactile feedback with this device as well, which is one of those things I could talk about, but until you experience it, you don't really understand. But it just makes the experience of using this coffee machine that much better. Starting with the little dial at the top. It's a little rollable barrel kind of feel, which is how you sort through menus and things like that. That's analog tactile. It kind of clicks as it rolls, which is nice. But then they went a step further, and the screen on top has haptic feedback. So as you're selecting through the menus there, it's buzzing to let you know that you've selected something, which again, they didn't have to do that, and it's so nice that they did. The screen itself is, I mean, nothing impressive, but it doesn't need to be. It displays everything really clearly. It's monochromatic, so you have a beautiful white text on a black background that just integrates nicely with the rest of the device, and it just pulls you in immediately without confusing you. There's like a friendliness to it. So I can't say it enough. I think the design here is just beautiful, really intentionally thoughtful as well, and I just love it. But that's not all that this is about. I mean, what's it like to use this thing? Let's talk about the function. Like I said, I've tasted all modes. I've tried all the modes except for tea, which I still need to do. But here's what's happening inside. So whenever you select one of the modes, it starts with a warm bloom to open up the aroma of the grounds from the beans. Then it extracts the coffee cold to lock in that flavor. Hot blooming, cold extraction. Now, there's 3 different modes here. There's the standard one, which takes around 10 minutes, depending on how much coffee grounds you put in. It's another feature that I really love. Depending on how many grams of coffee you put in, it will adjust the water to meet that accordingly. It starts out with about 16 grams. You can obviously adjust that. And talking about the standard feature, I feel like the standard one is a little, I say watery, which doesn't sound good. but let me explain what I mean. It is watery, like if you look at it, but the taste is there. It's really interesting and a different experience, which I think comes with the cold brew territory. I've drank a lot of cold brew in my lifetime, and this tastes delicious. Now, the second mode is a concentrate mode, which pours basically less water through, but it's a more concentrated coffee. And this is great if you're gonna be adding creamer to yours or making it something fancy like a cold brew you'd get at, Starbucks, something like that. The concentrate mode is great for that. It's literally meant for mixing with milk or whatever else you wanna use. And I mentioned it before, this next one is actually what I didn't think I would like, but it's become my favorite. And that's the long form slow drip mode. This one takes about 45, 47 minutes, around the 16 grams of coffee, but it's been my favorite. I think it's the most flavorful, and yeah, it takes a while, but it's like this really cool feeling knowing that there's a machine taking 45 minutes to make you something. It's this like, I don't know how to explain it really. It's like I'm sitting here at my desk working and I know that coffee is being made for me in this long form kind of way. It comes out so tasteful. When the beep finally goes off, I get so excited. I'm such a dork to go grab that coffee and sip it. It's so delicious. Like I said, I'm still playing around with ratios. I've tried about 20 grams in each of the modes so far. I want to kind of like really load up the filter and see how much coffee I could make, where it's too much or too little. It's just fun to be able to play with devices like these to find the perfect ratios for you. And it uses those little like single serve filters that you would get for another smaller single serve coffee machine. So it's easy to find the filters, and the cleanup is so simple. Like there's no like extra water. What pours through the filter is what lands in your cup, and to just pull off that magnetic little cup that holds the filter, dump it out, and you're ready to go for another brew. The water tank holds plenty of water for the coffee you're going to be making. Easy to fill it up. Just a really easy, quick, clean process to use this machine as well. So it's beautiful, it's silent, it's delicious, it does a few different things. You can play around with it. It's a joy tactfully to use. It comes out cold with no need for ice. You can add it if you want, sure. I could also see you, like I've seen some recipes for like sparkling water and coffee, like that afternoon pick me up with a little bit of hydration in there as well. Like I kind of want to try that too. I love coffee and I love really well made products, and this is one of those. Form and function here are beautifully married, and I love this device. So who is this for? If you love cold brew coffee, for sure check it out. If you drink a lot of cold coffee period and you hate how hot coffee over ice dilutes it, maybe you've tried those like plastic ice cubes and those just aren't it for you. And because it's so small, like if you just want a side coffee companion, right, to have on your desk, to have on your nightstand, to have in the kitchen, to have in the living room, to have on a side table when guests walk in, this thing can like fit and go anywhere. And I forgot to mention, this is a black and a silver model, so there's a couple options there to fit the space that you put it in. Now, one small practical note I will mention. I think in order to make the form factor of the device smaller, they actually removed the power supply to an external like power supply, basically. So that plugs into the wall and the other side of it plugs into the machine. Now, if you have a place to put that, that's great. It just does add a little bit of friction where you're trying to figure out how to put that power supply somewhere. Now, if you have a whole coffee setup, a coffee bar, a coffee corner, you already have machines, this will probably be easier for you to figure out because you've already done like wire and cable management with your machines, but just something I did want to note there. And again, I'll just say this is for someone who likes to experiment with different types of coffee as well and different ratios and things like that. It's been really fun just testing things out, and it's one of those things where like it kind of slows down your day. Like testing out different ratios on a 45-minute brew isn't something you make a bunch of different shots to test out ratios. Like there's a long trial and error phase, and I kind of love that. I think you as well, if you're a viewer of this channel, you probably have an appreciation for tech that slows you down a little bit as well, and I just love that about this machine. Now, if you just have a great cold brew setup, you love putting ground coffee in a mason jar and throwing it in your fridge for 12 to 24 hours, you keep doing that. For people like me who just love different machines and maybe want something a little bit quicker but still have that intentionality involved, this is a great machine. So yeah, premium device, premium features, a joy to use, intentionality and thoughtfulness put into the design and usefulness of this machine. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Definitely check out more at the links down below, and again, thanks to Brezi for sponsoring today's video. Thanks so much for watching. On this channel, we talk about products that marry form and function. We like products that improve our lives. and look good while doing so. So if that sounds cool to you, please consider subscribing, like this video for more, hype it up if you would, watch that video next. I think you're gonna love it, and we'll see you all in the next one.